I do remember being told to speak about the tapestry of Tripura. But I think this is a mixed crowd. There are people from different parts of India, some from northeast, many from Bengalore, some from another part of India, a lot from the south, a lot from north. Can I see who's there from the northeast here? You can. Not bad, many northeast. And apart from Tripura, which are the other states you all are from? Okay, let's go state by state. From Manipur, how many? Okay, quite good. Nagaland? One Nagaman. Is it a lady? Nagamanu. Then how many from Assam? Not bad, not bad. How many from Shillong, Meghalaya? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Tripura? Not bad. Mizoram?
One.
Sikkim? Should we add Sikkim? Oh, there's one Sikkim there as well. So I think you've covered northeast. And Arey, no, Arunachal ke log kahan se? How many from Arunachal? No, Adi hai ki, Galo hai ki, Apata nahi hai. Arunachal is a very beautiful place, one of the most beautiful places in the northeast. Then I think there are a lot from Karnataka, Bangalore. How many from Bangalore? Bangalore is like a second home to me. So a big clap to the people from Bangalore. I know sisters from Bangalore. Yes. Some are from Kerala and from different parts of India. It's a big country. So today I've been asked to speak on a subject which requires some preparation. But if you are a local, then you can communicate directly with the students. I come from Tripura. Tripura is a small state from the northeast. And Tripura has a very old history and old culture. When I say old history, old culture, it does not mean pre-1947. We were an independent kingdom. We trace back our roots to thousands of years. In fact, in the Ashokan pillar, the word Tripura is written. Tripura is mentioned in our books, in our religious texts, and Tripura is also mentioned in Akbarnama, or for the matter, it is one of the last states to merge with India in the year 1949, when my grandmother, who incidentally was in Shillong at that moment, signed the instrument of accession, so we became a part of India and decided that our fate lay in a democratic India. Tripura, as you can see, is largely misunderstood also sometimes. People consider it to be a state which is an extension of Bengal. While yes, there are many people who are from Bengal, the original inhabitants of Tripura are Tiprasa. I happen to come from that Tiprasa community. Now, there are many misnomers about our state. First, what is our mother tongue? We have many dialects. Primarily, Kokorok, Kaukru. We have people who speak the Kuki language, people who speak the Ranglong language, Darlong language, Halam community, and we have people who speak Chakra. We also have people who speak Bengali. But I think for everyone here, I think I can communicate in English. Would that be fine, or would you want me to speak Kannadiga? I would fail in the latter, but I would love to learn that language. The fact is that we have our own dress, as you've seen. We have our own songs, we have our own language, we have our own culture. And the word tribal, according to me, for the Northeasterners, the word tribal is misleading. We are indigenous people of Northeast. The word tribal in the books often suggests that people who live in caves, who haven't mastered the art of pottery, tool, who are basically backward people. But if you go to Manipur, if you go to Nagaland, you go to Meghalaya, You come to Tripura, Arunachal, parts of Sikkim, you go to Mizoram. We have our own dress, we have our own culture, we have our own inheritance system. We have probably been able to master the art of weaving, pottery, tools, much before many of the other people. We have our own way of life, we have our own tradition. So for us to be sometimes labeled blanketly that these are people who are tribals, who do not have a culture or identity is wrong. We are the indigenous people of Northeast, and I think that native people of the Northeast, and I think that is a better description for us to take forward. I know some people take pride in the word tribal. I take pride in the word tribal, but I take larger sense of confidence when I can go anywhere in the world and say I am a native of a state, I am indigenous to my people. I'll give you an example. Many people from Meghalaya may not know. Pidai Khasi. You're a Khasi, right? The Khasi speak a Mon Khmer language. The Khasis actually invented the art of masonry in 1488, much before, but we attribute the art of masonry or the art of skill in the year 1520, but actually the Khasis already knew what to do with it. In Tripura or in Manipur, if you go to Manipur, there are 128 different types of cuisine. So when we say that, oh, Northeast people, there is a misnomer. People from Northeast eat dogs. They eat kutta khaya, billi khaya. When in Delhi, they always keep on saying this, right? The fact is, that's absolutely wrong. There may be incidents of some people doing that, but we have our own cuisine. We have our own gods. If you come to Tripura, you go and see Unnukoti. This is stone carvings done. We talk about Hampi. But if you come to Tripura, you Google, please Google Unnukoti. Unokoti. Unnukoti. You will see stone carvings of gods and goddesses dating back to 1400 years. So, to suddenly be told that you are backward because you don't conform to the larger idea of a mainland India is absolutely. What is India, according to me? India is not a melting pot of one culture. India is like a salad bowl. While you retain your own identity, when you eat this together, it tastes wonderful. What is a melting point? Melting point is you put something on a heat, everything dissolves, and you have one identity. I think that is incorrect. In a salad, you can be a tomato, you can be an onion, you can be a jalapeno, you can be a lettuce, and when you mix it up, you eat, it tastes wonderful, but yet they retain the ingredients, the originality. India should understand Northeast far better. Tripura more so. Especially when we talk about culture, we talk about identity, when we talk about stereotype. The people of our region have been stereotyped. When a girl smiles at someone, many of the times I've noticed she's considered, oh, she's smiling at me, she's fast. Not realizing this is our culture. You go to Japan, you say something which is embarrassing to a Japanese, you know what they do? They smile. It is a way of them showing their embarrassment. Different cultures have different ways of reacting. But unfortunately, because of our educational policy, because of what has been taught to us, not to us, but to our parents, to our grandparents, we have been told that anything which looks different from your culture is alien. That is not a good way of making our country grow together. I myself studied in Shillong, and I was in the ICSE course. Until class 10, the only thing I learned about Northeast, sitting in Northeast in an ICSE course, was one horn rhinoceros, Kaziranga, world's wettest place, Cherrapunji. Khatam. But we knew about the Bandung conference. We knew about what is happening with the Rashtrakutas and the Pratiharas. We knew about everything. We knew about with Yasser, Niso, Tito, Yasser, Nehru conferences, non-aligned movement, everything we knew about the world. But about our own country, we were told very less. That was wrong. But what's happening today is also no better. Where our culture is being appropriated again in the name of unity, in the name of uniformity. That is not a good step. So I appeal to all the younger students. Sometimes you should challenge the stereotype. You should challenge not the authority that the principal is here, but you should challenge certain ideas which do not sit well with you. If you do not challenge this now, when will you do it? You see that picture behind? That was 5 years ago. Today I am a softer person. With age you mellow down. With age you stop taking on institutions as aggressively as you are when you are younger. But this is your time. And the future is not ours, the future is yours. Our time is gone. And if you all do not, if you all depend on AI to solve your country's problem, AI is not going to solve your country's problem. AI, ChatGPT is going to solve your thesis. But if you have to solve and change your country, you will have to start thinking yourself. Not artificially, but emotionally. And the only way you can understand your country better is when you start communicating with areas which may sound alien to you. Talk to a Tripuri. Ask him or her, why does she feel that they have lost their rights in their own land? Ask them. Ask the Riam, a community in Tripura, who had to stay in their own state for 30 years, 25 years, as displaced people. And refugees who came from Bangladesh actually called our own Riam people refugees, and they were living in camps, while people who came from another country became leaders, political leaders, lawyers, judges, and took over the administration. So ask why these things have happened in this country. Is it because we were not bothered? Is it because we only react to Northeast when there is violence? There are instances. Right now the flavor of the year is Manipur. But when there was peace in Manipur, did anyone bother what was happening? When there is violence, when you see that angry man behind, when he starts shaking up the ground, then Pradyot is communal. Pradyot is fighting too much for his people. He is shaking the system. We have to stop it. So when there is noise, Government of India reacts, any government of India. But when you are peaceful, when you are democratic, there is no reaction. And the problem with our younger generation is that we have been told that this is right and do not apply your mind on anything which is serious. But if this country goes down economically, if this country goes down in terms of its financial strength, if this country is divided, it is not my life which is going to be affected. It is not our principal's life or sister's life which is going to be affected. We have crossed the better part of our life, but it is your future which is under threat. Are we in Tripura united? Yes, we are. And you can learn from Tripura, Tiprasa. Today, when Tiprasa people fight for greater Tripura land, When the Tiprasa people fight for greater Tripura land, they do not fight as Riang, Debbarma, Jamatya or Darlong or Ranglong or Kolon. We fight as Tiprasa, which means one identity. We do not fight as Christians, Hindus or Buddhists. We do not fight as Christian, Hindus or Buddhists. When I meet any Tiprasa, I don't say, what is your religion? We fight because we are all suffering, we are all poor, we are all denied. And we unite so that we can achieve a greater tomorrow, a better tomorrow. Many people from Northeast would have said, we do not want to be a next Tripura. I remember growing up in Shillong, meeting my friends from Guwahati, going up to Jorhat, Upper Assam, going up to Along, Pasighat, going up to Kohima, Dimapur, going up to Imphal, Churachandpur, and everybody will say, we do not want to become another Tripura. But slowly you are becoming into another Tripura. And Tripura is actually fighting and inspiring people how to fight back despite being a minority in their homeland. Because when we are comfortable, we lose sense of our land. What is it that we have beyond our land? If you see all our songs, our dances, our festivals, it is about harvest. It is about land. Whether it is Onam, ma'am, whether it is Pongal, whether in Thailand it is Songkran, our societies are agrarian. And whether it is Bihu, we have someone from Assam here. It is about land. And if that land, you have no control over it, you have no rights over the land. Today, if you take 1 inch of somebody's land, brother fights with brother. वो है ना वो सीमेंट का कर दो दीवार तोड़ दो दीवार बीच में ये ना ad. For 1 inch of land, people kill each other. And in Tripura, we have lost all our land. Today, in the Northeast, where does the cement come from? Tong. It comes from Shillong, Meghalaya, JK Hills. Cement comes from Meghalaya, comes from Haflong. The workers, the laborers are Jaintiyas, Dimasas. But the flats which the cement make, not a single Jaintiya or a Dimasa or a Khasis. Gas comes from our land. ONGC is there. All your gas pipeline is in Agartala. One indigenous village, Tiprasa village, does not have a single gas pipeline. But all the gas comes from our land. In Assam, tea. World famous Assam tea. Everybody says, oh, Assam tea. Those laborers who are working in the tree tribes who are working in Assam, not a single one of them can ensure the child goes to a proper school or the parents get health care. They are daily laborers, exploited. Where does coal come from? Our land. Where does uranium come from? Our land. Steel comes from Jharkhand, Odisha. Steel makes cars. Petrol comes from Assam, comes from Tripura, used to run cars. But we people, maximum of us, I am privileged, but maximum of us can only dream to be a driver driving that car. We cannot become owners of the car. But it comes from our land. I am not saying that stop it. We need development. But when all the resources is coming from our land, and we say, please give us some royalty so we can build schools, roads, hospitals. They say, oh, you are extortionists. You are exploiting us. Today, why do people from our part of the world need to come to Karnataka to have schools, to come to colleges? When all the resources are in Arunachal, why do people have to come here? Because at some point we have been exploited, and because our leadership has become corrupt and greedy. So today, when you speak up, even New Delhi has become very comfortable with chamchas. और हिंदुस्तान में चमचे की कमी नहीं. So I keep on telling this to all my people that fight for the next generation, fight for our culture, fight for our identity, but don't hate it. Your problem is that we are being divided across societies, whether it is, and the simple basic thing that I have realized over the years is that we are being divided on basis of our economic condition. Please look at the wealthy people of the world. Who are the wealthy people of the world? And I give them, Tatas are wealthy, Ambanis are wealthy, Adani is wealthy, Goenkas. Look at community-wise. And I admire them for their prowess in economic growth. Parsis, very less community, small, but wealthy. Marwadis, not so much in numbers, but united, and they make good business sense. Gujaratis, the Jews across the world, they know how to make money. All credit to them. And see who are the most poor. The tribals, the people of rural Bengal, the Adivasis, as you will say, Africa, all the resources is in Africa. But Africa was exploited first by the Europeans, then the Portuguese, the British, the Belgian, the French. Now it's the Chinese who are exploited. Right? Now what is the similarity between the rich people and the poor people? The rich are always united. I'll never see a Adani, an Ambani, or a Goenka or a Tata fight. But I'll always see a tribal fight with tribal. Africa, South Sudan, North Sudan, Sierra Leone, civil war. In Northeast, वो निशी है, वो आलो है, ये जमतिया है, in Tripura, ये रियांग है, ये देव बर्मा है, वो क्रिश्चियन है, वो हिंदू है, वो मुसलमान है. We are always fighting with each other. And you know why we are fighting with each other? Because someone behind is financing us so that we remain divided. Someone is doing it. There's a system. And it took me a good 45 years to understand that there was a system. And this system knows that the day the tribals, the indigenous people, the Africans, the poor get united, they will no longer be able to control the resources which is in our land. So, I'll give you an example. If I have to divide her with her, or him with him, in my state of Tripura, somebody will come and give him 100 rupees and say, प्रद्योत का पार्टी के लिए बोलो जिंदाबाद, पूरा दिन बोलेगा, पेट में खाना नहीं. नेक्स्ट डे बीजेपी का कोई आएगा बोलेगा नरेंद्र मोदी का जिंदाबाद बोलो, 200 रुपए लो, बोलेगा पूरा दिन जिंदाबाद. तीसरे दिन कम्युनिस्ट का आएगा, 300 रुपए बोलो इनकलाब जिंदाबाद, पूरा दिन बोलेगा. बोलो इसको मारो, मारेगा. Because they think that's the only way they can have a better day. But what is actually happening is, there's a word in our Tiprasa language called Thansa, means unity. The day we become united, this exploitation will stop. And the idea is, how do we unite? Can we fight with the financial powers? No. But we can definitely inspire each other to unite. And the only formula to unite is to shed negativity and embrace love. If I have to love you, and especially the youth, when you grow older, you become friends with those who are well connected. But when you are young, your best friend may have no money in their pocket, you're still friends because the other person loves you. That's what all religion teaches. The idea is, Let us unite with love. Let us shed negativity, because the day we can all get together, we can reach somewhere which is higher and better than today. What is the biggest problem? Ego, arrogance. Sister will say this, ahankar. This arrogance and ahankar and ego divides you. I learned this today. If you see, if I have come here, this is Maharaja. I said Maharaja so many times. People must be thinking from Bengal, I'm a cook, they call Maharaja cook. These are Maharajas, must be having like a 15-inch motion. Right? Probably come dressed up with a turban, enter Mount Carmel College in an elephant, with a sword in my hand. But I'm dressed up like PC Saka. Only PC Saka dresses up like a king. Those magicians, no? But I've come here in Dinesh's car, no security, no bodyguard. I've come here because I learned this early in my life. My father was a real king. He was a real king. I'm not a real king. We've lived in palaces, we've lived a life of luxury, but I learned this very early in life. When I was in school, when I was in college, my parents did one thing right. They never sent me to so I have given lectures in Oxford, and in Cambridge they let me remain in Northeast. So I grew up with friends who are Nagas, who are Khasis, who are Jaintias, who are Garos, who are Mizos, who are Manipuri, who are Arunachalis. And we all grew up understanding each other. So you got connected. Today, if my community has invited me here, if there is some amount of love, thank you for having me here. You know, that love is because I did not grow up playing polo, did not grow up listening to classical music, though I love music. I grew up as any other indigenous boy or girl who grew up in Northeast. So grew up playing football, grew up listening to Guns N' Roses, grew up listening to Metallica, Megadeth, had friends, went out and had dokle or momos or chakui, bhankui. It was, in Manipuri have nari, no? So, or iromba, sinju, Arunachal mein to mitun bhi khaya. Apon ka saath mitun bhi. But you grew up as someone who was low. So today, if I can lead a movement where we are trying to unite our people, not through hate, through culture, through self-respect, through preservation, then being rooted to the ground is important, and to shed ego. So if I'm coming today as a normal person, it's because I know that politically today I may be in a position of some influence, not all influence, some influence. But I know power is not permanent. So don't get used to it, because it will eventually go. It will come back, it will go. And if you get used to bodyguards, if you get used to security, if you start allowing somebody else to handle your social media profile like now most of these guys do, if you start talking with an air, then when you're out of park, it will hurt you in the head. So mentally orient yourself. Don't change. The other day we had a meeting of all the leaders of Northeast. We spoke about Tripura. We spoke about the challenges that we have right now with what is happening in Bangladesh. And some of the leaders were very scared of talking to Delhi. So I told them that I'm not scared of Amit Shah. I'm not scared of Rahul Gandhi as well. I know both of them, but I'm not scared. The only thing I'm scared of in my life is losing the trust and faith of my people. And if I go to Delhi and I speak something which makes them happy but makes my people sad, then I am not willing to compromise on that fundamental thing. You want to create wealth, please do so. But with wealth, also have an agenda to create a legacy. And I've said this yesterday and I'll repeat it again. I said this in Guwahati. Smile, shed negativity, embrace each other, regardless of what food you eat, regardless of what clothes you wear, regardless of what language you speak, regardless of who you pray to. I am a Hindu. My grandfather made a Buddha temple. My great grandfather gave land for mission compound in Tripura in the 1870s. My great grandfather built a mosque for Shuja, who was Aurangzeb's brother. So if we 500 years ago could do all these things, what has changed today? Politics has divided us. Narrow minds have divided us. So you have to be people who will try to break the stereotype. And this is the only time you can do it. Believe me, you wait for another 5-10 years, you will become like your parents. You will become like your grandparents who are now sending you messages in WhatsApp University. You all know what WhatsApp University is, right?
Yes.
I keep on getting it from my mother also, my aunt also now. They've all become part of WhatsApp University. That's because when you grow older, you stop questioning. You conform. And if you want to be any part of the next generation, this is the time when you motivate yourself and you motivate the environment around you. Today, my strength does not come from me being a leader. My strength does not definitely come from that palace which they showed you here. My strength does not come from the bank balance that I have, and I have a good one. Right? And I can openly say, my actual strength comes from the fact that a poor Tiprasa in a village has expectations that this man will do something, we will do something. And that strength cannot be taken away with no amount of money, no amount of inheritance. As individuals, I will tell you, it took me a long time. Yesterday I was invited to Royal Global University. I was also invited in 2011 or 12, and then 2024. In 2011 or 12 when I was invited, I think I was invited to St. Joseph's also in Bengalore, as chief guest. At that time I was invited because I was the son of a king. So by virtue of birth, and I'm being honest, can I be honest? Generally,
yes.
Politicians are not honest. By virtue of birth, I was given that position. But today, if I'm called to a poor Tiprasa woman's house, and she has nothing to offer me but some rice, and I eat that and I sit with her and I hug her, I'm invited because they believe that he understands our problem. Not because of where he is born, but because of what he's done, what he feels. I think that for me is a true sense of achievement. We are not brands. We are living beings who will one day perish. Do not judge each other because so and so is carrying an LV bag and someone cannot even afford a proper pair of chappal. Do not judge anyone on the basis of their wealth. We have become brands now. We have become influencers. That's fine. But do not change your outlook towards other people because they are less privileged. And as I said, and I'll repeat it again, smile, but don't laugh at others. Don't mock others. Embrace negativity and kick it out at the same time. Because you have to understand what negativity is all about. And after embracing negativity and kicking it out, embrace a sense of happiness and positivity, and you will know. If we as youngsters are positive, if we are open to other cultures, we will achieve so. Otherwise, future will be bleak. Question your leaders, question your teachers, but teachers also need not take it in a negative way. If I could question my teacher 30 years ago, I'm sure the teachers are more open. And when I interacted with sister and the principal, I had a few questions. And everything they answered with this. So your teachers are part of your family. This is a part of your family. In fact, you can't choose your parents, you can't choose your sisters or brothers, but you can definitely choose your school and your teachers who you like to do. And I know that everyone who is here, today a job of a politician is more powerful, but the job of a teacher is more fulfilling now. And what you want in the end is fulfillment. So, I know I was called to talk about Tripura. I think my Tiprasa people here, think of Saka.
Yes, Bubagra.
Have I said something wrong?
No.
Many people said that after coming to power, I'll change. Have I changed?
No.
I can try to grow a moustache. Don't change. Because if power changes you, if position changes you, then you are nothing but a shallow person. To all the other people from the rest of outside Tripura, I want to tell you one thing about our people. We are the most loving, the most giving. We are so loving that we give all our stick to somebody else. But we are definitely not here to ask you for your help, but we want your support. Help can be monetary. Help could be giving something in financial terms. What we want is support, and support is emotional support. What emotional support can give is far more. And many people ask me, where do I get my energy? How can I keep on going this when every day newspapers, especially a certain category of newspapers in Agartala, which hate me, say I am terrorist, Gunda, Padma. You know how? The more they attack me, the more my people love me. So I don't give two hoots about them. And when I go to the villages, you should come to Tripura. All of you, I invite you to Tripura. All my Tiprasa people, invite them to Tripura also. We'll look after them. Yes. We take you for a round of palace, we take you to the Dumbo, we take you to all over Tripura. And you notice one thing in Tripura. We do this. Mwah, to our people. Right? Does not cost me 1 rupee also. But from there, all the old ladies, even men, they go, mwah. I have never seen that. And I say, I love you. And from there, people who don't know how to speak English say, Bubagra, I love you too. We're not spending money. We're just spreading love. I'm not landing with a helicopter and doing all this. It is love. हम लोग प्यार के भूखे हैं. We want love, we want respect, we want affection. And I think you all are from great societies, great culture. But maybe sometimes you need to unlearn to learn. So come to Northeast. You will see a different India. But it is India. It is the same India. You see a different India where things are not so negative. Things are not so commercial. And people are more welcome. And the day you learn more about India than Kim Kardashian's next fashion line, or what Kylie Jenner is doing, or what is Taylor Swift's next world tour happening. The day you know more about that, the day you know about Arisa, Arigna, or the When I go to Manipur, I see the Meiteis and Kukis and Nagas. They have so much in common, yet they are fighting. Who's making them fight? It's the politicians. When I see Khasis and Jaindiyas and Daros, you all got together and got a state of Meghalaya, yet now you are not fighting. Who's making fight? It's just the 10-15 politicians. And these politicians are sitting in Shillong at night, they're sitting in Delhi, they're drinking together. During the day, they are abusing each other. At night, they are all united. And we, the indigenous people of Northeast, we are fighting with each other in the name of religion, in the name of party, in the name of surname, in the name of everything. But the system which is dividing us is the same. Identify who are the people who are keeping you down, and you will rise up. I want to thank everyone once again. Aapne bulaya mujhe, you all have invited me here. I also would like to thank Joel, who's given me this lovely sketch of mine. That was 10 years ago. I look much older now. I've lost my hair. Probably lose my dentures in a few days. I also want to thank the faculty. You all must be thinking that I'm speaking this impromptu, but like Modi ji, there are 2 teleprompters here which is invisible to you. No, I'm just joking. So, I want to thank every one of you. And if any one of you feel that I've come here and motivated you, please don't think so. I get motivation when someone from a small state from Tripura comes here, and so many of you all turn up to listen to me. Maybe you're forced, or maybe you just want to listen to me, or you don't attend your classes. I used to do that as well. But you all turn up. It motivates me. Many times people don't realize the motivation does not come from the stage. It comes from the people who are there in the audience. You motivate me to go back to my state and fight even stronger. And if you can motivate people like us, then you can definitely motivate people who are next to you, who are sitting next to you, to love, to embrace, to be tolerant, to make our country a bigger, better society. We will only become a superpower when we have the power of loving and giving. So please, never forget that we can only become stronger if we have positivity in our life. In our language, we say thank you as Belai Belai no Hambai. Would you like to learn that word? Belai Belai. Not Belari. Belai Belai. No Hambai. Bas, you've learned the word. When I first went to Shillong, I learned the word Kublai Shugur. Then I went to Garo Hills, I learned the word Mithila. Then if you go to Churachandpur, I learned even to Ipise, Chibai. Then in Mizoram they do that. I learned a lot attending in Arunachal, Nyokum, Solum, Mopin. I had my first apung there, forcefully. When I went to Manipur, in the Meitei areas, I learned about the cuisine. I can speak a bit of Meiteilong, speak a bit of Kuki. I understood my Naga people's accent also. Very good, man. So, I've learned so much from you all. And I learned so much from the people of Karnataka. And I want to thank you. It is because of Ram Kamal that you got me here. I'm coming to Bangalore after 6 years. Next time when I come. And ma'am, I'm also offering from my council, if we can support you for a cultural evening by sending our talent. We look after all the expenses. If you want to have a Northeast food festival, we will support you. And ma'am, unlike some people, we do not eat dogs and cats. We have very good food. But I want to extend my solidarity with all of you all.